Hey, this is Chan from DifferenceInSkill, bringing you a gold paladin deck profile for sale. What? Basically, this is a gold paladin deck for sale, as I said, if you didn't hear me the first time, because you're bad. So yeah, let's get right onto it. This is an outdated build, so there are no new cards in it. So, yeah. But overall, this deck is pretty stable. Has strong ways to, tutor your field properly, get good rows, get the 16, 18s, maybe 20s if you're lucky. But mainly getting to 16, 18 with a lot of advantage is how you want to play this deck. So yeah, let's get right into it. So, Garmores, 4 of them, of course. Silver Wolf Garmore is the best, not undoubtedly, in my opinion at least, the best level 3 gold paladin in the deck. So, definitely run 4. He's just great. Ride him, counterblast 2, search for a card that you need. He's also pretty badass. He's, he has guitars and shit. So, yeah. 2 blonde Ezel. He's a good backup plan because of Crimson Lion Cub Gareth. If you're missing level 2, level 3, you could just get him if you don't have Garmore in your hand, which happens from time to time. And if you're Joel, it happens every game, which is weird. Last level 3 we have is Gigantech Destroyer. Once again for Gareth. Gigantech Destroyer is a 12k when he attacks the Vanguard, so with Gareth he becomes 17k. Now why is this number important? Well, if your opponent has a 11k Vanguard, your Gareth generally is very useless. If you have, like, Ezel Gareth with a full field, that's 20k. If you have Garmore Gareth, it is also 20k. And you don't want that. So, basically, Gareth's backup is Gigantech Destroyer. So, yeah. Normally you want to move him to the side, put a Gigantech in front of him, or put, an average 10k and attack a rear guard. Because, it's not too great to attack an 11k with a 20k row, especially if it's your Vanguard. You want your Vanguard to be semi-difficult to guard, but not over the top like Blonde Ezel here. Now, Blonde Ezel, he's an okay card. I just don't like how he's inconsistent. He's consistently strong, I guess you could say, but his pluses are inconsistent. Whereas Garmore is very consistent throughout the game. You play it, you know what you're going to get, and good stuff happens. So yeah, that's level 3s. For Beaumains, Beaumains a good card. He needs to be with Gareth to superior ride into Ezel, so you definitely want to run 4. Now, 4 Beaumains is always good because of early game stuff. Beaumains, your 10k vanillas are very strong in early game. Say someone has a Vivianne and they attack your Beaumains, boosted by a Gareth, Spring Breeze, whatever you wish, which is very likely the case most of the times. You can block it for 10 safely, which is quite important. If you want to risk it, you can block it for 5. This is very, very important because of the early game plays you can make with Vivianne or other, 9k cards. I can't think of one off the top of my head, except for Vivianne, really. But, by itself, Vivianne is ready. Or like Saishin. Like, Saishin's pretty annoying when you have to deal with, him trying to kill your Spring Breeze. Something like, yeah, basically on hit effects that are very good. On a 9k, you can block it by using Beaumains, or Beaumains. Is it Beaumains? Yes, Beaumains. I don't know how to pronounce this in English, so I'll just call it Beaumains, because that's what I like to call it. So, onto the rest of the level 2s. For Vivianne, very strong card. When it hits, counterblast 1, superior call a card. Only when she's boosted, though, which is pretty balanced, so... Not really, though. It's a bit strong, in my opinion. Definitely triple R material. So, you attack, and if you're boosted and you hit, you get a superior call the top card of your deck for 1 counterblast, which is probably the best counterblast to advantage ratio there is. 2 Calamity Mage Tripp. It's a pretty decent card, especially in the early game. If you have something like this, this will basically make your Vivianne free if they have, a weaker Vanguard, say a 7k at best. Then you just go, okay, Vivianne attack, superior call the top card, maybe it's a trigger, whatever, put it in the back. And then you attack with this, unflip your damage. Very strong combo, I guess you could say. It's a very weak combo, but, it's not the biggest of combos, not the biggest of plays to be made. So yeah, that's the level 2s. On to level 1s. For Gareth, Gareth is good, because, he is Gareth. not much to say about that. For Mark, with all the superior calling off the top of your deck, if you call a perfect guard, that's one perfect guard you don't get to use. So running 4 is definitely needed. And if you decide to put in Dinderons in this, definitely need 4 because of your massive hand. Because with a massive hand, there's massive amounts of level 3s. 2 Charjgal. Charjgal is Garmore's best buddy. As you can see, they're using matching guitars, which is kind of homosexual, but, you know, whatever. So, you know, you ride Garmore, you can tutor your Charjgal back in the side, maybe behind Garmore, depending on where you want them. It's pretty strong. Soul Blast 1 becomes 11k. Really does help you against those nasty 11k Vanguards. Where you go 21, it's pretty strong. Strong, as people call it. 4 Sleygal Dagger. Sleygal Dagger is a neat card. He's not really amazing by himself. He's more like a utility card. Now, with all these new crossfights coming out, hitting that 18k mark is quite important. Sleygal Dagger fills the bill really easily. Counterboss 1, you got your problem solved. Even on like 11k, you know, like on 9k, you put them two together. Counterboss 1, he becomes 9k. That doesn't actually work. My math sucks. Wait, what? It should work, doesn't it? Yeah, it does. Hell yeah. 9 plus 9 is 18. So basically any level 2 and any Sleygal with 1 counterblast gives you a decent row. Of course, you have better things to be using with, namely Ezel and Garmore, but you know, some games it's slow and maybe you have to ride Gigantech Destroyer. Maybe you ride Garmore once and you never draw a second Garmore or an Ezel, which I wouldn't recommend riding Ezel over Garmore because that's just kind of dumb. And, you know, if you don't know why, it's because if you ride an Ezel over your Garmore, it's kind of a -1. But then, like, you Spirit Call the top card of your deck, and that's a break even now, a random break even for a bit random amounts of power. I mean, if you're a total sack, you can feel like it's worth it because you go, ride Ezel, flip the top card of my deck, Beaumains, plus 10k. Easy, right? But, you know, not everyone's a total sack. 1 Tron. You only need to run 1 because of Mr. Garmore here. He can tutor out your one-ofs of your deck pretty simply. 10k booster, that's semi-situational, so you don't want to draw it when you don't need it, but when you do need it, Garmore's there to cover you. 1 Sagramore, once again, with Garmore. Garmore's so good, I just swear. Like, Garmore is amazing. For those of you who think that Garmore isn't good, really, just look into it. Consistency is more important than big bursts of shit that you don't know if it's going to happen or not. Compared to like something like Ezel. Yeah, Ezel gets strong randomly. At least 5k if you're not running Flames of Victory. But even with Flames of Victory, you can soul charge them, make them 7k. So, yeah, sure, you get random power, but your advantage is random. But Garmore, you get solid cards, like the cards you need. Which is why I prefer Garmore, and I think he's superior to Ezel. Although I hope that Garmore got a cross ride and not Ezel, but you know, what can I do? I don't work with Bushiroad, so. Sagramore, once again, very useful. If you need it with Garmore, and you might think, why would you ever need Sagramore? Well, if you have a lot of level 3s, better grab this guy to your hand. Plus, those two combined, it's 21, a pretty solid 21 with an ability like that. It's pretty neat, so. That's level 1s. Okay, and as I said before, Lion Cub Gareth. 4 critical, 4 more critical, 4 heal, and 4 draw. Standard 8-4-4 build. You know, the 8 crits, the 8 other triggers, I guess you could say. It doesn't really matter what you play aside from the criticals, but you know, things are good. So, yeah, this is the deck I'm selling right now. Price will not be disclosed on the comments or in the video. So please PM me. If you want to take out some stuff because you have too many, maybe you want to add some more stuff like Spectral Dukes, please do PM. Do not hesitate to ask. I have nothing to do at work, so might as well read PMs and answer your pitiful questions. Bwahaha. Anyways, so this Chan from DifferenceInSkill, bringing you Gold Pallydin for sale deck profile video. Comes with these sleeves and this Pokemon deck box. I like this deck box actually, it's quite sturdy. These are really sturdy, so I don't know, I just wanted to say that. So yeah, just gonna throw these guys in here, and bye!